So today I just want to show you a way to use your Cricut cake. And mine's been laying on the shelf for a little bit, being unused, and since Thanksgiving is coming around, since Christmas is coming around, I thought it'd be a really good idea to put it to use, along with one of my favorite cartridges, the Martha Stewart Crafts Seasonal Cake Art Cartridge. And today I'm going to be cutting a border on page 72. It is the leaf border 1, and it's a really easy way to decorate up a pie for Thanksgiving. So the first thing I'm going to do is get some pie dough right onto my Cricut mat, and the first thing you need to do is roll it out. And it's really simple. Well, the first thing you need to do actually is brush your Cricut mat with some vegetable shortening, and this is just Crisco vegetable shortening, all-purpose. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, but all you do is just get a nice thin layer all over the mat. And you don't want to see white vegetable shortening when you're doing this, but you do want to be able to see the texture from the brush imprinted onto the vegetable shortening, just to make sure that you have a good layer and your pie dough is really going to stick. So there, a nice, good, even, thin layer, and you're all done with your vegetable shortening. And the next thing you need to do is just get your pie dough. So I'm just going to put that to the side. And this is just pie dough that I've made on my own. You can buy the already rolled out, pre-made pie dough, and it's very nice. It's the only thing that's different is you'll have a circle instead of a square. And so the only thing you need to do is roll out your pie dough to a nice, thin, square piece. And make sure you use flour if you find that your pie dough is sticking a little bit, because you can always brush off any excess. You don't want to tear. So there, I have my pie dough all rolled out, and it's a nice thin, I would say about 1/8 of an inch thick piece of square pie dough. And then I'm just going to go ahead and take my mat and slowly ease this pie dough right on. Open to see if you have a little bit of sticking. You really want to be careful. So there, and then with this smaller rolling pin, or you could use the larger one if you only have one size, and that's just fine. I like this little one. I'm going to go all over the entire surface and make sure I have a really good adhesion. And I'm also going to stretch the dough out a little bit more if I need to. Alright, and then with a round pastry cutter, all I'm going to do is just trim it up right along within the guidelines on the mat. And this is really important because you don't want to accidentally have any excess dough getting caught up in the rollers. And I should mention, this is enough pie dough for one top or bottom of a 9-inch pie. Alright, so I can see that my pie crust is all within the gray markings, and then one more time, just to kind of bring the dough to the edges and make a very nice, as close to a 12 by 12 piece of pastry dough as you can. And then the next thing you need to do, and it's really important when you're working with the Cricut cake, is put this pie dough into the freezer. And I like it going into the freezer because I want to work with it as fast as possible, and I need it to get very cold. So right into the freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes. This needs to be firm before you put it into your machine. So I'm just going to clean up and put this in the freezer. I'll be right back. So my Cricut mat has been in the freezer for about 13 minutes now, and it's nice and firm, and I'm going to go ahead and hurry up over to my Cricut machine because I don't want it to warm up too fast. And the first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and load it in. And I'm going to go ahead and select the design that I want. And let's see, it's right here. It's the leaf border. My sizing is already at 2. My speed is on high. And I'm just going to go ahead and change my pressure to high as well. And I'm going to go ahead and turn autofill on and go ahead and press cut. Alright, so just unload your mat. And you can see you've got a really nice cutout. So the next thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and pop this right into the freezer again, because as you can see from the beginning to the end, the dough warmed up a little bit, and you can see the perfection of the cut was affected just a little bit. But to make sure I have success all the way through, I'm just going to pop this right into the freezer, and it'll make it really easy to go ahead and apply these right to my pie. So as soon as these firm right up, about 10 minutes later, I'll be right back. Alright, so here I have my Cricut mat and all the nice little leaf cutouts that I have. And what I'm going to do next is just take some water, just plain old water, and with a little brush around the perimeter of this pie. And this is just an apple pie, 9-inch apple pie, and with no decoration around the crust. And all I'm going to do is just take that over here for a second. And with an offset spatula, I'm just going to slide underneath my cutout just to release it from my mat. Make sure you get underneath that pie crust. You can see because it's firm, it's a lot easier to work with. So I'm just going to take that, bring my pie right up here, and place it. And if you break a little piece off, that's fine. Just right around the edge. You can see I broke a leaf already, because these are fragile. Just go ahead and connect it right back on, because when this bakes in the oven and puffs out, you won't even see that. So the next thing I'm going to do is just continue on releasing these pieces, and if you notice that you need to chill the pie crust again to get your pieces to a consistency to work with easily, that's fine. Sometimes it's easier to just go ahead and break them up yourselves. So then just go ahead and continue placing your little leaf border all the way around. And then just go around and place all the leaves very nicely. Make all the borders connect. And then what you can do if you want is just take a little tool and go up each leaf and just create a little veining. But there you have it. A really easy, simple way to decorate your pie for Thanksgiving. And if you want, you could go ahead and make a little decoration on the crust. You could go ahead and pinch together if you wanted. But just go ahead and put this right back into the freezer or into the refrigerator for a few minutes just to chill it up, and then brush the entire top with beaten egg and put it right into a hot oven and bake, and you'll be good to go. And I'll make sure and show you a picture of how it looks when it's done. So anyways, I hope you like this, and I hope it gives you some inspiration, and I hope you try it. Thanks.